You're an ordinary farmer who discovers that aside from having great farming skills, you have great warrior skills, better than the warriors themselves. And that came as a result of farming, not training. This is the story of today's anime. I've somehow become stronger when I improved my farm-related skills, and no one could have thought of a shorter title. Episode 1. This is Al the farmer. After he finds out that he has high-level farming skills, he's surprised to find that he has extraordinary warrior skills. All of this is thanks to his great farming skills. Anyways, Al goes out to deliver some vegetables to the royal city mages. On the way there, he sees a group of adventurers struggling to kill a dragon. Al decides to distract it. So what does he do? He throws a carrot at it. Yes, a carrot. Much to his surprise though, the dragon is exploding and killed by this carrot. This must be the hardest carrot ever. Surprised, Al rides away and pretends this never happened. After Al reaches the royal city and delivers the goods, the man tries kidnapping the young princess, Fall. Al uses his newfound warrior skills to save her and to easily beat the man. This astonishes Fall since that man is so strong. No one can defeat him easily like that. This is why she offers him the chance to work as an adventurer for her father, the king. But Al refuses since he wants to be in a peaceful life on his farm. At night, Al is finding out that the king and his daughter Fall are attacked by a demon army led by the demon lord Romeo, who wants to take the throne. This is why Romeo tries to kill the king, but Al arrives there just in time to stop Romeo. Romeo turns into his full demon form, but Al easily defeats him. This in turn scares away the whole demon army. The king is thankful to Al. Fall offers him a big farm in exchange that he becomes an adventurer. Al accepts. Episode 2. Fall takes Al to Adventurers Guild to officially become an adventurer. Al meets the secretary Helen, who assigns his first task. It's to collect some herbs from the forest. As Al collects those herbs, a female demon tries attacking him, but he's saved by the other adventurers. Just then, a black dragon named Ouroboros shows up and scares them all, even Al, who forgot to bring his carrots. Al goes back to the guild and tells the guildmaster about the Ouroboros. Just then, Helen faints as soon as she heard about it. Al goes to the library with Fall and does his research about Ouroboros. It turns out Ouroboros destroyed Helen's village and killed everyone there. Al also finds out that the source of Ouroboros' power is the negative emotions of humans. Al and Fall go to Helen's destroyed village, where they meet a ghost of the little boy named Rai. Episode 3. Rai is Helen's younger brother who was killed by Ouroboros. He tells Al about how Ouroboros destroyed the village and killed everyone. He left Helen alive so she could tell all the other villages and spread fear. That's why Rai advises Al to have some hope. Hope will break and weaken Ouroboros. Rai also warns Al that Ouroboros will attack the royal city soon. Therefore, Al rushes back there to warn everybody, while carrying Fall on his shoulder. Meanwhile, a depressed Helen goes alone in the forest and meets Ouroboros. She doesn't want Ouroboros to destroy the city, so she tells him to kill her instead. However, Al arrives just in time to save Helen. After Al tells Helen about his meeting with her little brother's ghost, Helen starts to have some hope, which makes Ouroboros weak. That helps Al to defeat Ouroboros with one single punch to the face. Ouroboros disappears. It sounds over now, but Helen stabs Al in the chest after Ouroboros possessed her using her negative emotions. Episode 4. Another dragon named Mirage shows up to save Al. After Mirage gives Al most of his energy, Al heals his injury and hits Helen. Ouroboros comes out of her and tries to possess Al, but he fails, since all Al has in his mind is farming instead of negative emotions. This weakens Ouroboros more. This allows Mirage to finish him off while Al is unconscious. Al wakes up to find himself back in the guild with Helen and Fall by his side. The adventurers celebrate how Al defeated Ouroboros and saved the city. Helen has some of Ouroboros' powers after he tried to possess her. She can turn her arms and legs into dragon limbs. Al goes back to his farm. There, the postman, Reeks, who runs as fast as a roadrunner, gives Al a letter from his parents. For this reason, Al decides to travel to Lurigus City to visit his parents there. While traveling to Lurigus, Al is attacked by a demon, but he's saved by a girl named Ruri. Episode 5. Ruri offers Al to walk with him to Lurigus. At night, the two camp, light a fire, and become best friends. Next morning, the two arrive at Lurigus City there. Al says goodbye to Ruri and goes to see his parents. After reaching his parents' house, Al welcomed so warmly by his loving mother and hit on the head by his father, Giles, who couldn't recognize his son as an adult. The next morning, Al buys fertilizers and is then tricked into going to the forest. There, he falls into a trap and is attacked by a monster, but is saved by Ruri. The demon who controls the monster shows up and introduces himself as Loki. Episode 6. Loki wants to kill Al and Ruri because he's dangerous to the demons who are planning to invade the royal city of mages. A fight starts between them and Loki overpowers them both. He then has his monsters pin Al to the ground and eat him, but the monsters accidentally eat the fertilizers in Al's bag and die. While Ruri rages and unlocks a superpower that she uses to kill Loki afterwards. After the fight, Al faints because he's tired from the fight. Hours later, he wakes up with Ruri by his side. Al then returns to his parents' home, only to be welcomed back by his mad mother, who was worried about him. The next morning, Al decides to return to his farm. As he says goodbye to his mom, she tells him to stop being a farmer and to think bigger than that. Al replies that farming is his passion. He should consider ballet. If you're enjoying the video so far, smash the like and subscribe button. Episode 7. A few days later, Al, Ruri, and Helen work in the farm. A big army of demons attacks Mage's City. Al and the other girls try fighting the demon off, but eventually the demon surrounds them afterwards. However, the demons retreat after Nadyrus, the prince of Antisburg, arrives and waves his legendary sword named Leviathan. This sword can control the demons and make them go away. Now Mage's City is saved. Everything goes back to normal. Later at night, Fall visits Al and shocks him with the news that she'll be leaving town because she's forced to marry Nadyrus for political reasons. The next morning, Reeks, the postman, delivers a letter to Al from his mother, Lucica. It turns out that Lucica was part of a secret group called Shadow Puppets. She received information that Nadyrus' sword, Leviathan, is a fake. The demons retreated earlier because a demon who works for Nadyrus made them do so. This means that Nadyrus is secretly a liar. Soon after Al shows this letter to Ruri and Helen, Reeks walks in and reveals he is also a member of Shadow Puppets and a peaceful demon. He teams up with them, and then they all decide to go to Antisburg to expose Nadyrus and save Fall from a miserable marriage. Episode 8. Al and his friends sneak into Antisburg City. As they try to sneak into the palace, they're quickly exposed thanks to Al's stupidity and are chased by the guards. Helen turns his arms into dragon hands and throws Al to the 4th floor of the palace. There, Al meets Gazelle's girlfriend, who was kept prisoner by Nadyrus in order to force Gazelle, who controls the demons, to obey him. Always, Al uses his extraordinary fighting skills to knock out the guards by shoving vegetables in their mouths. After he carries Gazelle's girlfriend out of the palace, he meets up with Ruri and Helen. The three go to the church to stop Fall's wedding and confront Nadyrus, while Gazelle reunites with his girlfriend. Meanwhile, Reeks has some demons attacking Antisburg. A demon enters the church. Al takes Nadyrus' legendary sword and throws it near the demon, but the demon doesn't run away and crushes the sword. This shows the public that Nadyrus' legendary sword is a fake. It also exposes him as a fraud. Now that he is exposed, Nadyrus is arrested by his own guards. The king of mages, Fall's father, accepts Al as his future son-in-law. Al is the luckiest guy alive. Episode 9. Who is Ilia? She's a poor orphan girl who was adopted by Giles, Al's father. One day, Al's parents go to the city and leave the farm to the youngest Al. Al goes out to the forest with Testa, looking for a hidden treasure, but they find a cave and an ancient stone. Al touches it and causes a volcano to erupt. This volcano ruins all the farms and destroys the bridge to the royal city, preventing people from escaping. There's also little amounts of food, and many people die from hunger. Al himself becomes sick, but Ilia saves his life and gives him her food. Shortly after, Ilia dies from hunger. After Al finds out, he's deeply sad, and this explains Al's passion for farming. You should have never left the farm, Al. Episode 10. A girl named Linnea visits the guild and informs Helen that something is wrong with Gal City, her hometown. She needs an adventurer to investigate it. Al decides to volunteer. When they reach the city, Al notices that people are acting weird. Clearly something is controlling them. Al then meets the ruler of the city, Remol, who invites him to dinner. But Al is suddenly carried away by two people wearing cloaks. A little later, Linnea finds Al near the goddess statue in the middle of the city. The two then go to Remol's palace afterwards. There, Al tries to talk to Remol about his people who are acting weird. However, Remol is himself possessed by a demon named Vertria, who also possesses all the people in the city by a power he buried inside the goddess statue. Vertria tries possessing Al, but fails after the goddess statue is destroyed by Ruri and Helen. Of course, they snuck into the city earlier and told Al about all Vertria when they carried him away earlier. Al easily defeats Vertria, thus the city of Gaul is saved. Episode 11. Later on, Al spots two men trying to kidnap a young girl named Yuria. After Al saves her, Yuria informs them she's the daughter of the Demon King because she was in danger in her father's place, Vlope. The demon who takes care of her teleports her to Mage's City where it's safe. Al carries Ilia afterwards towards home and runs as fast as a roadrunner on the surface of the ocean. After arriving at the palace, Al is attacked by Vlope, who's possessed by a demon. Lucica, who's secretly been following Al, knocks Vlope out. When they enter the palace, Ilia finds her father, the Demon King, injured. Suddenly, Lucica tries killing Ilia. After Al stops her, Al finds out that this is not really his mother. It turns out to be Ilia, his adopted sister who died from hunger. Episode 12. Ilia reveals she was brought back to life by the evil god who gave her superpowers. Ilia also reveals that Al's fighting skills were given to him by the evil god. After Ilia tries killing Ilia, time stops, and Al meets a winged woman known as Good God. She gives him new powers. Al then uses those powers to overcome Ilia along with Vlope's help. Ilia escapes afterwards and promises Al to fight him again. Afterwards, the Demon Lord and Vlope thank Al for saving Ilia. The season ends with Al back at his farm having fun with his friends as he wonders who Evil God is and what he wants from him. If you want superpowers like Al, subscribe to the channel.